Here I'm speaking with my friend Melanie Mentzel, one of our first guests at Tecito con Marci. Okay. So one of my favorite composers is Silvio Rodriguez from Cuba. He is so prolific and deep. His poetry is all-encompassing. He covers every single aspect of life. And one of the things that he is really good at is to redefine a love song. My experience with commercial music often is that love songs are very formulaic and very shallow. I never really got into that. I grew up in the troubadour movement where words had to mean something. His music, his lyrics mean something about human life, getting older, politics, social change. But he also talks about love. And so here's one line that he says, and I'll say it in Spanish first and then in English. Con un poco de amor fue tejida mi piel, y el cincel de mis huesos fue un poco de amor. My skin was woven with a little bit of love, and my bones were chiseled by a little bit of love. So that's the first one, and that's from one song. Here's another line from another song. No hacen falta alas para ser bellos. Basta el buen sentido del amor inmenso. No hacen falta alas para alzar el vuelo. You don't need wings to be more beautiful. Love's immense good sense is enough. You don't need wings to take flight. And then the third one is, and this one is more, I think it's a more metaphoric. Si tu signo es jugar, juégalo todo. Tu camisa, tu patio, tu salud. Si tú debes jugar de cualquier modo, juega bien, con virtud. Pero hay amor, hay amor. No te juegues el corazón. If your sign identifies you as a gambler, bet it all. Your shirt, your yard, your health. If you must gamble anyway, gamble it well, virtuously. But oh, dear love, whoa, oh, love, do not gamble with your heart.
Wow. I mean, first of all, the Spanish is just so much more romantic, but the depth of those words and the way that it feels like I would love to hear the whole song of each of those, where those lyrics came from. And I feel like, when you talk about love in this romantic, way you're using imagery, it's hard to, really fathom like the depth of that life, what that person must live like, to be able to write those words. So I believe fully that to give your heart would be so lovely. I don't know. It's like, I don't know. This is a really amazing subject of love.
I wanted to do this podcast because I think that love is a creative force. It's the engine with which everything moves forward, I think, in a good way, in a positive way, that's going to give results that are long-lasting, those songs that last forever, that are never forgotten, those pieces of music. I think also love is much wider than just the love between two people. It's love between you and your community, love between you and your children, between you and your pets or the animals. Maybe you don't perceive them as pets, but as people within your family. Our perceptions are very different. I think each one of us, we need to relearn how to weave love into everything we do so that it inspires us to become better human beings and better friends, better lovers, better parents. I think that we spend so much time trying to learn other things. We learn how to achieve things or how to become a professional in whatever area. But I think the key element sometimes is missing. And for me, that key element is love.
It's evident in everything that I see when you put together the way you cook, the way you put things together in the way you work with people. I've definitely been raised by love. My mom was sort of a hippie from the 60s. And, I grew up in Berkeley with this sort of a free love attitude in a way. But really my sense of love and my connection to nature is what grounds me and is, I hope what people notice about me. So it's like funny because I sort of have always had like one foot in this world of wanting to be like a certain way and put myself out in this certain professional way. But really, I just want to be like at the river, It's really important that you are vulnerable in the world because there's a greater access for you to other people, and then vice versa. There's a bigger channel. So like when I think about relationships that I've had and like, whether or not that person was meant to be or whatever, I think that our lives are, meant to have these experiences because at the end, it's all we have. Each moment is all we have.
Yeah.
So,
I think we carry every experience with us, and somehow those experiences shape who we become, who we are. Aquí compartimos la canción Créeme de Vicente Feliu, una de las más profundas canciones de amor que alguna vez he escuchado. Creo que quizás les puede gustar.
Créeme cuando te diga que el amor me espanta, que me derrumbo ante un te quiero dulce, que soy feliz abriendo una trinchera. Créeme cuando me vaya y te nombre en la tarde, llevando en una nube de tus horas, cuando te incluya entre mis monumentos. Créeme cuando te diga que me voy al viento de una razón que no permite espera, cuando te diga no soy primavera sino una tabla sobre un mar violento. Si no me ves y no te digo nada, si un día me pierdo y no regreso nunca, créeme que quiero ser un machete en plena zafra, bala feroz al centro del combate. Créeme que mis palomas tienen de arco iris lo que mis manos de canciones finas. Créeme, créeme, porque así soy y así no soy de nadie. Créeme de Vicente Feliu.
We're continuing our conversation with our friend, gardener extraordinaire, Melanie Mentzel.
what keeps me grounded, what keeps me in awe, and keeps me loving life is, when I can come out and take a walk in nature and breathe the air, look at the colors of the verdant hills, as the, rains have made them just glowing in the, beautiful sunsets. But as you can appreciate nature and let it spark your light, then for me, that's what really keeps me grooving.
And you and with your mom, you guys had a gardening.
We had a gardening business. Yeah. My mom actually married herself.
Did she?
I don't remember how old she was, but I remember thinking that is a pretty bold move. But she was always my mother-father because she raised me by herself. So it kind of made sense that my mother married my father, that she would marry herself. But she was very spiritual and very deep like that. And that she also wanted to inspire people to be self-reliant and have that love generated from within so that you can share it more easily when you're secure with yourself. And I feel like she had so much wisdom, early on. I love that. I think we should make a big movement of people marrying themselves.
I think it's wonderful. I'm also, I'm from a communal culture, or at least I'd liked that aspect of the culture I grew up in. I'm kind of divided because as a hybrid kid or a hybrid adult now, growing up in one culture with the legacy of another culture, I guess we get to weave and pick and choose things that we like best from each culture, and I think that that sense of community, I actually really enjoy having an interdependent relationship with my partner, and we've had one for the last 33 years, so I think it's working. And it's very different, and we make choices based on what will benefit the two of us, and sometimes we have to give up things that would benefit one of us because we're about the two of us. What flowers or plants, what are your favorite flowers or plants? What are the ones you love the most?
Yeah. Wow. I am pretty promiscuous with flowers and my love of flowers. I love succulents. I love alstroemeria. I love plants that, can kind of survive on their own, because I'm pretty good about watering, but we use a gray water system, so it's whenever the dishes and the laundry get done that they get to have water. I love growing food.